There have been faults on both sides, and you've caused a bit of controversy yourself in the beginning there. I wonder if I should ask you that question then. Is there a place for tangata tiriti in Te Pāti Māori?
Of course.
Do you think you got your words wrong?
Well, I think the fullness of that post was left out. All that was put forward to the media was the image, not the caption. So if
I don't know if that's accurate, being fair.
Yeah,
I get the sense that the caption was put out there as well. I wasn't going to play this clip, so I haven't fact checked it, but I get the sense the caption was put out pretty clearly, unless what he's saying is not the entirety of the caption. But I'm pretty sure that the caption was. Maybe you can Google that, Chewie, while we're doing it. If you just Google Takuta Ferris Instagram, it'll pop up, and we can have a look at the end of this clip.
had to broadcast the caption, everyone would have understood that the image and what it was saying was a challenge to the Labour Party.
But there is a place for Pākehā, for Samoans and Asians and all the rest of them to work with Te Pāti Māori in the seats, campaigning and all those kinds of things.
Well, ko te wāhi ki te tangata tiriti, me te wāhi ki te tangata whenua, I roto I te tiriti o Waitangi. Everyone who's happy with that, participation, inclusion, involvement is fine. So when those three things are misrepresented and used to actually diminish the tangata whenua right, then that's not right. And I'm happy to call that out. And I know that the media storm that got kicked up, that was a media storm without all of the facts. And I said to the media after that, I'll be happy to come and talk to you at some time to flesh that debate out, if you like. The majority of our whānau and the majority of the motu are easily distracted in that debate because you can just quickly have your attention taken away, by a racially driven idea or a racially driven image presented in a particular way. But the debate is the debate. It's about the rights of tangata whenua in Te Tiriti o Waitangi and the rights of tangata tiriti in Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Now, one of the places they managed to diffuse these two things is by hiding Māori in amongst multicultural New Zealand. So let's be clear that the country is a bicultural country. Okay, our society is a multicultural society, but the rights that underpin the bicultural country don't change.
Marama au ki tira, whakaaro. And as you say, that politics, in the media it can get away on you, but that is politics. And I wonder if you were to do it all again, would you do it differently?
Well, yeah, probably.
Is that the learning, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's learnings in there.
So as someone just said in the chat, I saw it fly by, he had a chance to apologise and he didn't, although at the end he did acknowledge, obviously, that maybe it wasn't the best way to do it. I just want to address this one thing as well, the bicultural country and a multicultural society. The way I've always heard it and understood it, and Chewie, you tell me if you think this is the same, I've always understood the way we describe it as a multicultural country based on a bicultural agreement. It might be the same thing said in a different way. And I'm not trying to pick hairs here, but we are a multicultural country, but it was started and founded on a bicultural agreement. Now, whether we're saying the same thing or not, I don't know, but that's the way I've heard it described before and the way I think I do it.
That's my understanding, right?
But he's basically saying we're a bicultural country and a multicultural society. It's probably the same thing. We're probably saying the same thing, but just putting it out there.
That doesn't sit well with me. But we talked about this when Seymour was kicking off about an agreement between races. It is not an agreement between races. It is an agreement between the Crown and Māori.
The Crown and the landowners who happen to be Māori. So it's not based it's
another way to do it.
Well, it's Māori because Māori were here. So in other words, the agreement is with the people here who were of a race, but that doesn't mean the agreement is based on race. It's based on the people who are here.
I mean, it does a massive disservice to people that have come from other places to say that this is a Māori and European thing. You know, it is Māori and everybody else. There's a
Yeah.
recognition of the first peoples of this country. So I think you do have, like, everybody needs to be more careful about how they talk about this. Seymour and Ferris. Now, there's an order of magnitude difference between how those two people are saying this, but like, this is one of the things that actors quite happy to stick a wedge in our society and turn around to more recent immigrants from India and China and that sort of thing, and going, do you think this is fair? You've been here like 3 months. Do you understand the nuance of the Treaty of Waitangi? No, vote for us, please. Yeah, so they need to get it right. Like, personally, I took his comments, the original comments that set them all off, as incredibly clumsy. Like,
do we want
almost,
to do it, because there's chat going on. Do we want to bring them up just to make sure we're all saying the same thing? Do you want me to Google them and bring them up, or have you done it?
like I haven't had a lot of luck bringing up the original comment. I'm actually not sure if it's on his Instagram, but I have found a screenshot of it on an RNZ story, which I've got there.
Here we go. I think I've got it here. Just to see that we're picking on, that we're making sure that we've got the same thing. Blows my mind. Indians, Asians, Black and Pākehā campaigning to take Māori seat from Māori. That hasn't given me a full screen. There's some interesting chat going on, right? Let me just put a couple of them up, because the Autist's Way says he's getting academic, and yeah, I understand that as well, because Teresa is saying takutai is meaning the whole understanding of what he said. It was a challenge to the Labour Party. Why can't you accept that, for fuck's sake? Teresa also says it's shocking how you two sit here and criticise takutai. I think Teresa might be watching a different show at the moment. You manipulate everything he is saying. He has repeated himself so many times. Sure. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Takuta has done a superb job here, verbalizing what he's thinking.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm not. I think that's someone who maybe is not watching the same show that we're doing. Chafoki, Pat Mini, so Takuta is telling the truth. Yeah, and there was a lot of conversation around those Instagram comments, and I wonder if it is one of those things, and not to necessarily defend those comments either, but one of those things that, you know, when we're in a mindset where we're the expert and we can say some things in a clumsy, easy way. Like, sometimes I say to someone, I don't care. That could be read as you don't give a fuck. But what it normally means is, for me, it normally means I don't have an opinion on this. Any outcome is okay. And I wonder if, as Taku kind of said at the end there, he might do it differently, meaning he might word it differently, because the word he's using were clear for many people, especially within Māoridom, but not for outside Māoridom. And then I guess you have to understand the question, does that matter? Does that matter that people outside Māoridom didn't understand it as well? Well, it wasn't as clear what he was trying to say or what he was getting at with the words he used.
Yeah. And look, just to clarify a little bit, when I say that it was all considered clumsy and that sort of thing, I'm also saying that from the point of view of how can someone weaponize what you've said against you. And he made that incredibly easy. He didn't like black hat his own comment, and sometimes you have to do this. How is ACT going to react if I tweet this out right now? You know, how are they going to use this post? Well, you know, we saw how they used it. So yeah, that's what I mean by it was kind of dumb and ill-considered. Like, I was quite vocal in the fact of watching Ferris's defense or attack against the RSB and the select committees and that sort of thing. He is very, very impressive in that setting. He asked some great questions, some great criticisms of the bill and that sort of thing. He's really, really can be very effective. And this is one of the things. This this whole thing with Te Pāti Māori blowing apart is denying us that. Him going and making that, in my opinion, ill-considered Facebook post, that became the story rather than how effective he can be.